Hello, this is the Green Corner Rebellion Show. I'm Gregory Harden II. Today I'm here with Councilwoman Nikki Nice, who is the city councilor in Oklahoma City's Ward 7. How are you doing today?
Doing well. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you on today.
Thanks. So first question I have is, where are you from and where did you grow up at?
Okay. I was born and raised in Northeast Oklahoma City. Went to Millwood Public Schools, preschool to eighth grade, and then I went to Northeast High School, so I graduated from Northeast High School. And then I went and furthered my education. I began at UCO, excuse me, but I finished with a Bachelor of Arts in Broadcast Journalism from Langston University.
All right, that's cool. My mom went to Millwood. She graduated high school there in 79, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so what all did you do before you ran for city council?
Before I ran for city council, I was practicing my degree. I was an on-air personality for a local radio station and also for a TV station. I did co-hosting for one of their lifestyle and entertainment shows that they had.
All right. So what made you want to run for city council?
That's a great question. I still don't know. Um, Really, I can say just ensuring that there was representation for our community, for the ward, and also just, in my opinion, feeling that I could help to um, elevate the voices that needed to be heard from our communities that are underrepresented and under resourced.
All right. So what are some things that you've accomplished or have helped accomplish since being on city council?
The main one that I can say right now, because this has been a whirlwind with the last almost year and a half of being on city council, is securing a grocery store for our community. Right now, we have had the conversation has been going on since the early 90s, and I understand now late 80s, early 90s, for us to get a brand new grocery store in the northeast quadrant of Oklahoma City. So now we have secured that, and we're just working through the lease agreement right now that has been signed. And so we're working through that as far as us making sure we get it off the ground and move some dirt and have a grocery store for our community.
All right, that's good. I remember hearing about that not too long ago. Um,
It came at a
so
cost, though,
yeah.
unfortunately. As we're looking at also in the community, in the midst of us working towards this grocery store, we had one that closed in the community. So this was a devastating blow and an unexpected blow because our community had no idea the store was going to close until a week before they said we're done. That was something that we still have that food insecurity, and it's unfortunate that we couldn't fix that problem before they shut their doors. As far as this new store coming, we can't fix it as fast as they were able to close their doors and move all of their groceries out of that store. So that's the unfortunate part. So it's bittersweet right now because there's nothing to speak for the community. There is a store that's located in Northeast Oklahoma City, but a lot of folks feel like this is kind of one of those places where you can get some of those needs, not everything you need. So you still have to plan out a lot of your grocery options. And for a lot of people who have no transportation, this is all they have. So that's the unfortunate part of even what we're dealing with a new store coming. So it's very bittersweet to say that we have a new store coming, with the same announcement that we still right now have a dire need and food insecurity in our community.
All right. So what are some things that you'd like to see happen in Oklahoma City in the future?
For Oklahoma City, I would like to see better equity policies in place for those folks who have been underserved and under resourced. Obviously, if you look in the Northeast Quadrant or even the Green Pastures area of our area, of just my ward in general, or if you look at the Southeast, Southeast, which is almost Southwest area of Ward 7 as well. These are our highly under-resourced communities, and until we can lift those areas, we can't have a successful Oklahoma City. Until we are able to get all of those places resourced, that's where the focus right now, in my opinion, should be. That social justice for our communities, the equity justice for our communities, and even with that environmental justice when it comes to those communities as well, and just those rural areas that we have that we serve that are a part of Oklahoma City. We want to make sure we get better and more resources out to them, because people don't think that's a part of Oklahoma City. But if you go out to Jones, Luther, Spencer is a part of is a municipality within Ward 7. That's still a part of Ward 7. These are places that need a lot of access, and we just don't have the infrastructure to do it. So that, along with um, resources as far as transportation, public transportation, and again, just those general pieces that we know our communities can have access to. Those are the things I definitely want to ensure that we have in our communities, especially, and with that, economic development infrastructure for our communities too. There's a lot of retail that's lacking in a lot of these named places that I mentioned. So how do we get those resources and better economic development? And we need people of that reflect these communities to be the people that develop in these communities. We need more community ownership. So all of those things are things that I would love to see, and I'm working on to see how we can get better access and equity for the people that live in these areas.
All right. So tell me how you feel about the coronavirus pandemic and how you feel about the response Oklahoma City has had and how our governor has treated the situation.
That's a loaded question. Um, I'll just start with it's getting better. Um, it's a slow better. And unfortunate, I feel like the response that we should have had, it's it could have came a lot sooner, as far as better response to what's taking place in our communities, and just the examples of other states, and seeing how this has impacted other states tremendously. And even just literally the last, I think, 11 to 12 days, we have spiked in our numbers, especially with the deaths now at 17 people that we probably could have prevented a lot earlier had we had the adequate tools in place to ensure that people were sheltering in place, staying at home, and also isolating our most vulnerable when it comes to our seniors, or those young people, or people that are immune compromised, or asthmatic, or cancer related, all of those folks who we know are most vulnerable. It's really difficult when we have an issue of, um, in some aspects, socialism, classism for testing. If you have money in some aspects of we've seen across the country, you seem to get tested quicker and get your results a lot faster than a lot of other folks who've been waiting on results. And that's the unfortunate part of what's going on. There's still a lot of lag testing in there. I understand from some reports that test kits have been lost. And that's unfortunate, if people have to retest, and, you have now the community spread. We're at the community spread portion of the COVID-19, and people are out and about. And if we're not taking this seriously, it's going to continue until we're, in some aspects, possibly forced to just stay at home, everybody. And I think that's a lot on the forefront of a lot of folks' minds in some aspects of what this could look like. But, Oklahoma in general, I think right now the response has been we have to listen to our public health officials. Whatever our public health officials are saying is really where we need to go with this, because just listening even to reading a report of Dr. Fauci saying that we could get in the numbers of 100 to 200,000 lost lives because of this epidemic. That's too many. So how can we again flatten that curve? How can people really understand this is something serious? But I will say I've been passing by like OU Medical Center, and they have now tents where people who may feel they have symptoms, they can go to those tents and be treated, or and go from there as far as what the next steps can and will be. And again, with the drive-through testing, the unfortunate piece to that is you have to have a referral in order to find out what the site is for the drive-through testing. So where are we when it comes? That's the question now that we've been trying to just figure out and to understand for those who may not have insurance. How do they get that same physician referral for those who have a physician or a PCP? So those are the things we do now understand that variety care, 211, and other, if you have a primary care physician, those are the things that you can do to get that referral. So we do know there are some systems in place to ensure that folks, even that are uninsured, can in fact get the information that they need. So overall, this is nothing to play with when it comes to people really thinking, oh, it'll just boil over. Until we take this seriously, it's going to be and continue to be a tremendous impact on our communities. And this is not the way I believe any of us want to see our family members suffer because we did not take this seriously and we decided to go around them. And now, some of them possibly won't be with us any longer because of that. But, even with that, with now the example of Representative Lowe being a positive case, he's now in some aspects those faces that you don't really get to see, those faces of color that have been impacted by what this looks like. So again, this is not something to take lightly. If you have to go somewhere, okay, but if you do not have to, I mean, please, by all means, we ask that you just shelter in place and do the necessity or necessary things that you have to do in order to take care of folks. If you have to call people like we do, and you have to do a Skype call, or if you have some loved ones that are not as tech savvy and you have to just give them a phone call, do it and ensure, ask them if they need anything. This is the time. I agree with the mayor on that. This is the time to be a neighbor. This is a time for our villages to get back to where we know they have been once upon a time and where they can be now. So just caring and taking care of our villages is really the main thing I want to relate to people is we have to take care of each other.
All right. Last question I have here is, who are your favorite music artists?
My favorite music artist. Oh, that makes me so excited. My favorite is Michael Jackson. I love me some MJ.
What's your favorite song by him?
Rock With You.
Okay.
Rock With You, Keep It in the Closet, Human Nature, Dangerous, PYT. I have more. That's just at my probably top 5 I just gave you. I'm also a hip hop fan, so I love me some Wu-Tang. I love Outkast. I'm an old school hip hop head, so Common, Eric B. and Rakim. I love Eric Roberson. He's a neo soul artist, one of my favorites. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves. I love Joe. I mean, I have enough music to get me where I need to go. That's for sure.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on social media at Nikki Nice OKC. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And every other platform I can probably find when it comes to social media. But I've been having a problem with my Instagram, so I haven't been able to post like I want to. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I just need a new phone, but I'm working on that. But you can find me on your Twitterverse all the time.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate you.